Back in 2006, a group of educators, business execs, and community leaders published a plan called Vision 2015. The document was a blueprint of sorts, geared toward making Delaware's public schools the best in the world. Well, 2015 has arrived. Delaware hasn't quite reached that lofty goal, but many of the plan's recommendations have become part of the broader discussion around education in the first state. Now we have a rebooted version of that group that's come out with a new plan, Student Success 2025. Here to discuss that document are two folks who helped craft it: Paul Herdman, President and CEO of the Rodale Foundation of Delaware, and Dr. Susan Bunting, Superintendent of the Indian River School District. Thank you both for joining me here on First Person this week. Thanks so much. I wanted to go back to Vision 2015, which is what got all this started.
Yeah.
Start with you, Paul. Of all the ideas and proposals that came out of that, is there one or two that you're really most proud of?
I would say, one in particular is early learning, and Susan can certainly expand on this because she's been a leader of this. But at the time, in 2006, it was a concept. It got into the report in 2006, 2009. The governor put $20-some million, and then 2011, the federal government put another $50 million or $49 million, so about $70 million over that period of time, to a point now where we started with very few kids having access to high quality early learning, particularly if they're low income. Today, 58% of those kids are in high quality learning opportunities. That's 10,000 young people. And that was one of those areas where everybody knew it was important, but thought it was going to be too hard to do. And I feel like that was really a powerful one.
Created the momentum.
Yeah, yeah.
Dr. Bunting, moving now to the 2025 plan. When a big plan like this comes out, do superintendents and principals pay attention, or do you have to go out there and message it and say, hey, pay attention to this. This is on the horizon now. Here are the new ideas.
I think it's a combination.
Yeah.
Several of the superintendents have been involved in the creation of this rebooted version.
Right.
We have been involved with 2015 from the beginning of Vision 2015, and so now it was a natural transition into a newer plan for the next decade. We have kept our chiefs group informed, and I think that's one of the benefits of having chiefs involved in the making of it, and we had a number of them involved in the subcommittees that were important in crafting the plan. So we will do further publicity, and we do have changes in our group as other groups change over the years, so that's a re-education opportunity for us as well.
Before we get to the content of the new plan, I wanted to ask about the tone of it. One thing that you read in Vision 2015 is just the ambition. It's just full of ambition. We're going to make Delaware Public Schools the best in the world. I don't get as much of that in this new version. Was that intentional, Paul? And if so, why?
I think there's still a ton of ambition.
Okay.
And the aspiration is still that we could be one of the best in the world. I mean, that's the aspiration, one of the best in the country for sure. I think that the way to think about it is that if you look at the highest performing systems in the world, the Finlands and the Singapores, if you look back to the 60s, they were well behind the United States on every measure. And what they did was they said, we need to look at the long-term issues, because what happens is that things constantly change with presidential and gubernatorial changes, and you need to have a long-term vision that outlasts those transitions. So we engaged in this 10-year process with the aspiration of becoming one of the best in the world. And I think we're on a long-term journey. I mean, the hope is that there'll be a different group of folks 10 years from now saying, all right, let's pick up the baton and take it to the next level.
I'll ask you, Dr. Bunting, what do you think in your mind really distinguishes Student Success 2025 from Vision 2015?
The breadth of the planning group. This was developed by several subgroups. We each took a facet of the original plan, I believe, and drove it into the next decade. And that involved a number of community members in combination with the business community and educators. Together, we crafted a plan that then went out to the public. We had a number of focus group meetings. It was followed by those were followed by a survey that went out to a number of people, so that by the time this was finished, you had at least 4,000 members of Delaware's public involved in contributing to and reacting to the plan. So I think the breadth of the planning group and the reactions that were gathered from so many different facets of the community make it a really important plan for the future, a visionary plan.
How about you, Paul? Anything that really stands out you think makes this one is significantly different from the last?
Sure. So I'll start with there's certainly some things we're building on, right? So there's some building blocks of Common Core type standards, higher standards, and early learning. Those are building blocks. And there were some things that we didn't get much traction on, like funding.
And we're talking about changing the funding system so it's more equitable and less rigid, right?
Yeah,
the unit plan has been in place for a long time.
Yeah, over 7 years. But I'd say two of the biggest distinguishing pieces are, one is around personalization, which is kind of the integration of technology. We didn't envision that playing as big a role back in 2006. And I think we also kind of stopped our thinking at 12th grade. We kind of waved the flag at what happens after that, but in this we go much deeper into college and career access.
Real quickly before we have to go, I want to ask about that because I see a lot in this report about sort of alignment and reorganization and making sure various people are talking to one another who don't always work together. How do you actually make that happen though? How do you actually get these people, how do you get the K-12s and the higher eds in the room and working on things together?
I think through the planning process, but then the connections are made, so that is a continued conversation. And you would be fascinated by the change in our high schools, for example, the integration of college courses, the opportunity for a student to leave high school with a half year's college tucked under her belt because of AP possibilities, dual enrollment, and just the knowledge that you needed to be really focusing on the college and career readiness. And I do stress career readiness as well.
Well, we're going to continue to follow this issue. Thanks so much, Paul Herdman, President and CEO of the Rodell Foundation in Delaware, Dr. Susan Bunning, Superintendent of the Indian River School District. Thank you both so much for being here. Obviously, we're going to be talking about all this stuff a lot more over the next 10 years. You can follow more on this story at newsworks.org/Delaware.